died for you for the forgiveness of your sin and was raised again and will now raise you. Did you hear any to-do list there? Which means there is no legislative activity that needs to come. That's the gospel. Now, what happens is we all know that in order to live in this old world, the old you that we're talking about, your neighbor is going to require you to follow the golden rule. And this is wisdom, all right, on this old world. So what happened in 2009 is you had one group of people that voted one way, and do you know what they were doing? They were saying, we love our neighbor. Yes, we do. We love our neighbor. How about you? The other side said, well, here's what we think. And we love our neighbor. Yes, we do. We love our neighbor. How about you? And they were going back and forth because they are trying to follow the golden rule as they would have understood it of how to love thy neighbor as thyself, and it ends up being a shouting match. What gets lost at the game when you hear the people on one side of the stands yelling and the other side of the stands yelling? What gets lost? The game. Nobody's paying attention to the game, which is the gospel. And so that's what happens is the legislative activity actually undermines the gospel. Now, that has to happen. This is the curse of the law. Both sides have to die to their self-righteousness. They did not succeed in creating freedom with the law. This is what we talked about in session 1 or 2. You can't legislate freedom. So the fact that you voted one way or didn't vote the other way was not going to be your freedom. And that's still the same today with any kind of legislative process. You aren't legislating anybody's freedoms. So the freedom is, this is going to kill you, but Christ will actually not let that be the final word. That's your freedom. And that's what makes the church. Now note, I said congregations, I didn't say church. Because the church is not part of the institution. The church is, as Luther understood it, and as was proclaimed in the Augsburg Confession, is where the gospel and the sacraments are rightly administered, not where you have a proper constitution and formation and a group hug. That's not the church.